YouTube. I did a video last week saying that the best, cheapest guitar you can get is a Westone Spectrum, and I sold that guitar and been kind of regretting it, so I looked out my other Westone Spectrum, and this one is, although it looks black here, which is annoying, I remember trying to do a video of this when I got it years ago. See if I use the torch on my phone, you can see that it is in fact blue, as is the fretboard. So it's all blue, which is pretty cool. I can turn that off now. Yep. Yeah, so they did this in all blue and all red. This is a Spectrum SX, which is the one up from the DX, which is the one I sold, the orange one. As far as I can tell, the difference between the I think there's an MX as well. There's a few. There's a good site called Westone Info if you're interested in Westones to see which ones are kicking about. This is not the top of the range one. I think it's the second top. I think the top of the range is an FX maybe, and it's got a neck through. So this is still a bolt on. A Matsumoku product, as it says. This one's from 1985. You can tell by the serial number in these. It starts with a 5 for 85. But the blue fingerboard was what really got me. Oh, you can see, you can sort of make it out as being blue there. The red one's slightly more impressive, I think, because you can see it's red from miles away, whereas this one has a tendency to look a bit black. It's a bit dark. I should really have done this during daylight. I didn't. So the difference between this one and the DX, as far as I can tell, anyway, this is a year older, so they might have, you know, changed the system round about. But this one has a maple neck, but it's like a translucent maple, so you can see the grain through it. Fretboard's maple as well, but it's blue, so you can see the grain through it. The body, I think, is maple, but as I don't know if you saw it when I was shining the torch on it, it's kind of like it's a very fancy looking. We're trying to get the angle right. You can see it. See how has a big scratch on it, but you can see the grain of the wood all the way through it. It's a sort of translucent finish. I believe there is one called a MX, which you can get in blue and red as well, which is a sort of matte. You know, it's not matte. It's not translucent is the word I'm looking for. Red or blue. So this would be the sort of second top of the range. It's also HSS as opposed to being HH. It's got the MMK45 unbalanced coil pickup, which is if you look up that Westone site, they talk about it, and the idea there was that one of the coils is more powerful than the other one, so that when you've got it in humbucker, it's at, you know, this volume, but when you split it to the louder of the two coils to get the coil split thing, it doesn't drop in volume the same way because you'll be using the more powerful coil. But apparently that was all just bullshit. I believe they might have used the word Magnaflux in there somewhere as well, and it's got the matching single coils, which are the same sort of hex pole looking sort of DiMarzio type things. 3 knobs and a 5-way lever switch. This has the same tremolo as the DX one had, so it's like, I think it might be called a Bendmaster, although I have seen ones with Bendmaster written on it, and this one doesn't have Bendmaster written on it, so it's whatever it is. But it's kind of like those cheap nasty ones you used to get in BC Riches, but it's made of metal as opposed to made of shite, so it's good, and it's got the sort of block thing up at the top for clamping and a graphite nut. This one of the things I noticed about the orange one is the truss rod was adjusted from here, whereas the truss rod from this one is up from the top. And I think what the problem they had with when they were, because when we started doing the Spectrum was before you really got the double locking system, and it's difficult to get the truss rod because you have to take off this metal clamp thing. But on this one, it's got like one of the things you see on really old Japanese guitars, and you see it on modern Charvels. It's like a wheel, you know, so you don't put an Allen key in it. You stick like a lever of some sort, so, you know, like a very thin screwdriver or something in there, and it's like a wheel you can turn, as opposed to being something you go in at from the top. That was how they got round that. Before the following year, they moved it to down here. The thing was, I was never sure about the thing down here is a lot of folk complain about where the neck pickup should be on a guitar, you know, because obviously the neck pickup, you want it to be below a harmonic point, and if you move the neck pickup back away, like on a 24 fret guitar, for example, either of these two, that pickup is tight against the bottom of the fingerboard, whereas if you look on one, it's not in the picture, on like on a guitar, like just for example, this one that's hanging here, try and knock anything over. So this is 22 frets, and the neck pickup's tight against it. So if you imagine if this is 24 frets, the pickup would be further down. People don't like that. Apparently, you want to have it in the correct Gibson position, which that other westone didn't do. Not that I don't think it makes any difference. But there you go. So this one has, as I said, HSS. These came as standard with push-pull pots because, and this has actually got the original knobs. See, they're kind of thicker at the top. That's so it's easier to grip for pulling up and pulling down, which I think is actually a pretty good idea. This one came as standard with 2 push-pull pots. So one of them was a coil split with a bridge pickup, and the other one was a phase switch. And the funny thing about the Westones is the phase doesn't knock like this pickup out of phase with the other two. It knocks one of the coils of this pickup out of phase, so you can have it on one pickup and it's out of phase. I put a third push-pull in just because I figured it should have 3, and and it should be what I think it is. I'm pretty sure it's a Gilmore switch. I will need to tap these with a screwdriver to see exactly what it is it's doing. Well, I'll just do that just now actually. Here's the thing, tapping it with. Right, so if I go into the bridge position, we've got... This is how the technicians check to see which pickup's on. And then... Yeah, so that turns on the one I put in, adds in the neck pickup to whatever it is you're doing. That one there... So there's your... I'm going to pull that up. I think that might be the phase. Oh, I don't know what it's doing. I'm sure it makes sense somewhere. I'll try and make it sound. So this guitar is much more stratty sounding than what the other one is, just by the fact it's got the single coil pickups in it. Probably using this cleans and the neck pickup. These two. Middle pickup. These two. Bridge pickup. And as with the other these MMK 45 pickups, god damn are they bright. And in fact it's got a coil split. Anything, I would say that coil split's going the wrong way. Have I wired this up backwards? Is that what's happening? I thought it was sounding funny when I was doing it earlier on, so... Aye, so basically there you go. So I've wired the coil split the wrong way around, so when you pull it up, it's a humbucker. Yeah, it's a bit more sense in it. So there you go, so... You get a humbucker. I might have done that intentionally actually, I'm not really sure. And then single coil. So if I'm in humbucker mode, I pull out this one, should be phase. Nope. Yep, so I'm going to have to go in and have a look and see what this is actually doing. I'm not hearing that doing any different at all. That's the putting on the neck pickup, so that's us in the 2 outer single coils Telecaster mode. Oh, that's good. humbucker on the bridge and a single neck. Yeah, I'll only have a look and see what this pickup here is doing. I wonder if what am I doing with it? Have I made it? Right. What I've done is I have made the phase reverse the middle pickup. This is I did this when I just started doing the wiring stuff. So the middle pickup's the phase one. When you got it on its own, it's fine. But when you put it on with another pickup, really thin, which makes more sense to me. Also in position 2. This has got Alexa strings on it, but it must be about 3 or 4 years old. But they still play alright, which is why you put Alexa strings on your guitars. Yeah, so the phase, so we're now worked it out. So this is a coil split that works the wrong way around. This is a phase for the middle pickup, and this is it hardwires the neck pickup on to get your Telecaster sounds. Got the rat pedal because I live on the rat pedal. Right, so that's the bridge pickup in single coil mode then, which makes more sense. Yeah, it makes more sense. I knew I've got another westone, a yellow one, which has got the phase thing that does it with the one pickup, because I'd never understood what it did and now understand. But the way I was looking at it is the MMK45s are pretty damn thin sounding pickups. Then single coil. So if you put it out of phase with itself, it's going to be so unbelievably wiry. I figured that was completely useless. So that's why I put it into put a reverse phase the middle pickup instead. My thinking with putting assuming I did it intentionally, actually I remember when I was wiring up that orange one, the push-pulls operate the opposite way round from the ones you buy these days. So I don't know whether that was intentional or not, that I made it you pull it out for a humbucker, but the way I look at it is I don't actually have, or I didn't at the time anyway, have like an actual Strat. So if you've got that in, you've just got a Strat layout, and then that's like the bonus of having the humbucker, which kind of makes sense to me as well, I suppose. Doesn't have a great input, this guitar. It's one of those stupid barrel jacks, which I hate, because you can't take them to bits and clean them, you know. You just have to buy another barrel jack, which I think, to be fair, there is one sitting in my parts box because I bought one, just never got around to fitting it. My God, that's trebly to the absolute extreme. I might do that again, but try and sound a bit less. This is the same thing again with it. Nope. Minor, it wasn't a minor. Yeah, it doesn't have the same grating effect. Obviously I can use that again though. Find a mix that doesn't cut through like a nice pick. Neck pickup. Listen to it. Middle pickup. These two with bridge cut. Bridge on its own single coil. Bridge is a humbucker. So the bridge humbucker and neck single coil. Bridge single coil. for the really thin sound again. Ready? For ice picks on the brain. Yeah, enough of that. So, still, as I said before, best guitars you can get cheap. You don't get these ones quite as cheap. You're still on the chance of picking one of these up for like 100 quid or under 100 quid if you buy one with a few bits missing or something like that. But these are amazing quality guitars. The neck on this is absolutely stunning. It really is. It's feels like a Strat, and the fact that it's blue just gives it so much more character. It's like you might not notice it. See when you're watching somebody play this guitar, you might not notice it. But see when you're playing it yourself, you totally. This is like I've said this before about this guitar here, which I've been using in the band because see it's got the silver, that mad sparkly stuff paint on the back of the neck. That's the bit you actually see when you're playing it. So when I'm playing it just now, looking at it, you just every time you look down and see what chords are on, you go, oh, cool blue fretboard. And it's totally noticeable. So it's great fun. This bridge is brilliant. This was the first tremolo bridge I ever had on any guitar that worked. And it, I'm seeing the way I've been using it. I've been totally returns to pitch. It's got a wee bit of upbend. You get half a note upbend. You can see I've been abusing it quite significantly. I'm not worrying about getting out of tune because it just doesn't. This is just a standard. This one didn't have a tremolo arm when I got it. I'm pretty sure it was a 6mm one, and I did have to bend it a bit to make it the right shape, even though it's not quite the right shape, but it's quite close. But what I did notice was on the orange one I just sold, there was another piece that fitted in before I put the tremolo arm in, and the reason, because I don't have that other piece, this one's wrapped in tape to stop it wobbling. It connects okay at the back, but it needs there's like a sleeve thing that fits over the front, which unfortunately I put in that orange one, didn't I? I found it in the cheapy BC Rich version of the bridge, and I screwed it in, and it was like, there's a piece that was missing from that one. It was bloody missing from my one as well. I should have taken it off and put it in mine. But it works okay on its own. I did actually try to sell this at one point, but apart from the fact it's got a dodgy output jack, which isn't really the guitar's fault, really. It's from 1985, so it's 30 something years old. But oh, it's an annoying output jack. But one of the reasons I love it so much is because it does the clean thing so well. Actually, because I don't have that wee piece, I'm going to have to put more tape on this to stop it wobbling, because there's a wee bit of travel in the arm before it actually moves the bridge, which it wasn't doing when I started playing it tonight. So I really need that piece that's missing. I wish I hadn't taken it off. But there you go. So the guy who bought the orange one's got like a significant advantage over this. You should be able to get a tremolo arm that doesn't wobble without having to put insulating tape around it to make it not wobble. Yeah, so rock and roll. as said, if you're looking at Westone Spectrums, they're awesome. This one is available in all red with a red fretboard. I think it's more common. All red. It looks absolutely brilliant. I've been keeping my eye open for one, but I've not seen one cheap enough. If you look up eBay completed listings from, I think last week, the week before, there was a red one, and it's the most fuck looking guitar you've ever seen. It's like it's been sandpapered and half the paint's hanging off it and stuff, and it was sitting there like, starting bid was like 20 quid, and I was like, oh, so that's going to be 20 or 30 quid, I'm totally buying that, I don't care how battered up it is. And the thing went for like 100 and something. It was like, what? But it's absolutely the most battered thing you've ever seen. At some point it had been painted white gloss, then the guy chipped off the old paint with a paint scraper, so it was like totally big bald bits, and what bits were still red were totally sandpapered to be matte. It was a horrendous looking thing. Rock and roll, my god, that was a long video.